Hi everyone, this is Alyssa Foss with the Elementary Math Department, and this tutorial is on how to access and use Pearson Realize within our enVision program. Step one is going to be to locate Pearson Realize in Clever. The icon looks like this. You may need to look for it for a little while. There are two Pearson icons, so be careful. Once you get into that, you're going to see a page that says Pearson Easy Bridge, and that page is just for your roster. You should see your students rostered here. If you do not, please reach out to your principal or AP or someone in the math department to help you figure that part out. If you go to the right-hand side of the screen, you're going to see a Pearson Realize icon. You need to click that button in order to get into the resources. This is what your dashboard will look like, but if it's your first time logging in, you'll have to go through a series of setup questions, which are fairly simple. And then when you get into your dashboard, you'll notice that you've got three categories. The Browse category is where you're going to find all of your resources. So you'll choose the grade level you teach when you set up your dashboard. You could choose more than one if you wanted to. And the icons on the Realize site match the student books that the students have or had in class. And once you click your grade level, the first page that you see is the table of contents. So for example, if I were to choose fourth grade with the cute little manatee, and I would then see the table of contents for fourth grade, which includes a lot. All of the topics, all of the assessments. It's a little bit overwhelming, so my suggestion is to go straight to the topic that you are going to be teaching. Once you find your topic, you click into that topic, and even deeper, find the lesson. So go into the specific lesson that you are wanting to teach, and a new table of contents will come up that is specific to that lesson. Again, there are a lot of resources and it's overwhelming, so we're going to focus on just a few for these plans. Your teacher edition and the interactive student edition version are right at the top for easy access. The lesson plans include these portions of the lesson. The visual learning bridge page includes the visual learning and the convince me question. Students should be able to view the visual learning video as well as use the Bounce app to scan the page if needed. And then the second page is going to be the student edition practice, which is the guided practice, which will hopefully give parents a little bit of help in understanding the lesson, and then the independent practice will finish it up. To find these lesson components, you could either go into your interactive student edition and assign all of that lesson to your students, or you could choose individual components and assign just those. The other option is that there is a quick check to assess and differentiate. So you could assign a quick check to your class if you wanted to try to collect some data on their progress. So here are the two lesson components that we were just speaking of, the visual learning bridge page and the practice page. You'll want to view the visual learning video, which will be the first icon under visual learning. And then the convince me is where students will get to actually respond to a question. The visual learning bridge video, they will be able to watch and or read through on their practice page. And then the convince me, they will be able to answer that question within their interactive student book. How that looks is, here's an example of a visual learning bridge page. As you can see, the models are all there. Hopefully the students will be able to watch the video and look at this page. And then down at the bottom where the convince me is, there's going to be a toolbar to the right-hand side of the page that they will get to choose different options to respond. So the little pencil is where you use the mouse, or if you have a touch screen, you use the touch screen to write. That part can get a little bit tricky. There's also towards the bottom in the blue text, there will be an option to have a text box. It only opens up one text box to write in, so that is not ideal, but it is better than nothing. All right, step 8, guided and independent practice. So the second part of the lesson for each day is going to be this page, the guided and independent practice. This is not related to a Bounce app video, so this is probably where you will get the questions if there are any. The toolbar is the same as it was on the visual learning page. It'll be to the right-hand side of the screen, and same thing. Students can respond right on the page, and it will automatically save and be sent to you. However, it's not the easiest thing to maneuver, so it will take a little bit of creativity on you and your students' parts. All right, so finally, you want to go in, and once you understand the lesson components, you will assign them. So you can assign the lesson as a whole, or you can assign just a part of the lesson. Once you click on that Assign tab, it'll open up this box where you have to fill in some information. The only information that you must fill in is on the right-hand side where it asks you to enter your class or your student name. You do not have to put a start date or a due date. You do not have to write instructions, but that is completely up to you. And then finally, back to the home screen, we just looked at all the resources which were in the Browse section. The Classes section and the Data section are where you're going to be collecting student work and then keeping track of their progress. So as a student finishes an assignment, that assignment will show up under your classes, and you will be able to keep track of their data in the Data tab. Many of you will also be using EDSB, so you can take that information and import it into EDSB as well. All right, so let's check out your action items for this step. You should be able to log into Pearson Realize, choose your grade, choose your topic, and choose your lesson. Then preview the different lesson components. So you'll want to compare your district guide to the lesson components within Realize. Look for the visual learning bridge and the convince me, as well as the guided practice and independent practice. Those are the pages that you should assign to your students. Once you've assigned those lessons to students, as the data comes in, you will collect it and keep track of it in a way that makes sense to you. If you have questions, which I'm sure you will, I would love to either answer them or help you find the answer. Please feel free to email me on ideas. Of course, this is the exact email address. And know that myself and the entire math department are here for you, and we've got your back. So we can do this, and good luck.